Today we're talking about the leg press. Yours won't necessarily be this exact brand, but we want this style of leg press where you can change the weights using. You don't necessarily need this exact brand, but we want this style of leg press where you change weights using a pin selector. That way you can just change weights by doing this, as opposed to plate loaded where you have to do all this. On some of these machines, the foot plate moves, and on other machines, your body moves, and on some of these machines, both move. The main adjustment we'll need to make is how far this foot plate is away from our hips. If we're too far away, our knees will barely bend and we don't quite get into it. And if we are too close, we'll feel like we barely even fit in the machine. Or as you start pressing, you'll see like your low back will slide away from the support of the machine. It's a little tricky to see from this angle. They all adjust a little different, but basically you just slide forward or back. Once we feel adjusted and are starting with a light weight, you want feet about hip distance or maybe a little bit wider, and then your toes can point straight toward the ceiling with your knees tracking in the same direction as your toes. Or if it feels a little more comfortable for your body, you can turn the toes out, but now the knees also are going to turn out a little bit to the side, just going in the same direction as your toes. Sometimes I will see knees can kind of, I'm being dramatic, but bend in toward each other, and we don't want that. Ultimately, we just want to feel like we're pressing with a sort of smooth range of motion in and out. I'm going to give you some more demos, and obviously they're very dramatic. You don't want to just be pressing through the balls of your foot with your heels popping off, and you don't want to be pressing just through the heels with your toes popping off. You want full flat foot on there. And then also, if your feet are way at the bottom, with your heels hanging off, you'd only be pressing with the ball of your foot. And then the last, probably most important part is you don't want to snap your knees into place. You don't want to go into a full lockout. At the top, you want a tiny bend still left in your knee. And if you can't do that at the weight you've chosen, you want to pick a slightly different weight.